always save as picture what I have done over here, and then save it to your cloud storage, which I always suggest to everyone. And okay, second part was for today was for rotations. So for cytology, gynae cytology, sorry, for the this one, the charts should be for your histopathology. No need for autopsy, because if you are putting up 40 and for autopsies, you don't need to, segregate those. So no chart needed for that. And for even for rotations also, other rotations, you don't need to put that. So cytology, gynae cytology, and histopathology, these three. And gynae cytology, again, it's up to you, but I would suggest that if you can put up. Okay, so these rotations are looked at, and apart from autopsy experience, and how to present the evidence for that. And time and again, I'm getting, queries from people that how to calculate, how to show your evidence of pediatric neuropathology and gynecytology. I would repeat again that if you have done any of these at your home place, kindly make it a robust logbook, summarize it very nicely, your experience for pediatric, neuro, or gynae, and then submit. Because again, although Royal College says and GMC say that it's not required, mandatory, and for renal, liver, medical, and maybe few other like lymphoreticular system, and which we are not doing in our routine, sarcomas, soft tissues. But I have seen once more than one section is missing, one they might, ignore a bit, but because they still triangulate your evidence to the curriculum, in the curriculum, because rotations are there, so it's better to do the rotations, or better to show your evidence for this. So gynae cytology, again, many people ask that if they don't have reporting as per style of UK, and maybe from CAP, or maybe Bethesda system. So would it be accepted? Would it not be accepted? I say always that, try to get something from the UK, and plus your evidence. So you may not be able to sign out, you may not be able to do the rotation in the UK, but then attend some webinars, write some reflections, see some, teaching cases, and record your findings, that I have seen this many teaching cases, and then you can present the evidence. So it holds true for all these three, that for the pediatric, 15 years and below, you can count any case as pediatric pathology. But if you have done at your home country, then that's totally fine. If you have done, and I would suggest one more suggestion. I have not put it over there. I should have, for the molecular experience also. So what I did was that I put up a cover letter that I did molecular pathology. What were the tests being done during my residency training? What were the tests being performed afterwards in Pakistan? What were the tests being performed in-house, or we used to send, of course, most of the, not unless and until you are working in a university hospital, most of the molecular tests would be sent somewhere else. So, but it's your interpretation, it's your MDT discussion, it's your inclusion of those tests into your routine reports, that how you present that. So even KRAS, BRAF for colorectal, and MMR, and so simple things you can just show. So what I did was that in cover letter I wrote like 1, 2, 3, and then I submitted some of the molecular reports where my name was there, that who is the sender, or then I entered 1 or 2 reports. So 10 reports I submitted for molecular pathology, experience. And I think that also counts, that because molecular is one of the major aspect again. So immunohistochemistry and molecular, you can just put up the uh, evidence for that also. So for this is again an example, that pediatric pathology log. So you can put up the letter for rotation if you have done, then you can put up the log, which the cases which you have seen, and then you can put up the reflections and webinars. So over here you can tell the diagnosis, and so for this you don't really need to put up, because those are very few number of cases. So you don't need charts or cumulative data sheets and summary sheets. Predominantly for histo and non-gynae cyto, summary sheets and cumulative charts. Again, I'm repeating, those are not must, but highly recommended. And for this, you can put up the log, which you have done before, or which you have. There is, Deepika, there is no specific number, but again, it would be that you have seen a certain amount. So even 40, because 2 weeks rotation, how many you will see and how many you will sign out or co-sign out or supervision, or most of the people won't be able to put get their names being included in the reports, unfortunately. So I would suggest that at least 40-50 should be more than enough, but there is no specific number. And no, you can't put from different places at one place. But you can, in the summary sheet, you can say that, or if you, once you are in your cover letter, I would say, because cover letter you don't need to verify. But from the different places, it will be an issue if you put it in one place or if you put it in one log. So you shouldn't put that. You can put in one log, but yeah, 40 to 50, 50, and I'm just giving you an approximate number. And POC is this placenta is taken as perinatal. So you can put it that over there also. So it's not that you have to sign out these many cases. Even if you have seen the cases and submitted over there, that's fine. And then, Naila, I suppose that you are asking about that how to show the cases which you have done during rotation or just saw. What I did was that when I went for although I had a very good experience for neuropath, but when I went over there, I saw some teaching cases, and then I discussed it with the neuropathologist over there. So he was kind enough to give me time. And what I did was that in the cover letter, it was written that she did rotation and she discussed those cases. And yeah, Deepika, you should have, you can extract pediatric from back home and put it in a separate log and show it. So most of us would have done, but even if you have not done, when you rotate, and how to make it more robust. If you feel that any place is missing, like you feel a bit deficient in any, how to do that. So this is again an example. This is not a signpost or something. She or he attended the pediatric or perinatal pathology, and during the rotation, they observed and performed autopsies, pediatric, and I have just given you for the pediatric. But then you can say attended MDTs, was involved in, so over here, involved in day-to-day reporting. So the the person who is signing the letter for you, they are not anxious, because you were just looking at the cases with interest and involved in sign out and those things. So you can just use the word involved rather than they signed out the cases. So if you feel that you're, yes, Intika, at least a little bit, again, it would be better to show, because people do that, and those are separately mentioned in the curriculum. So medical liver, medical renal, and if you have not the experience, if you don't have the rotation, what you can do, you can attend an online webinar. And this is a very simple and very exciting example, that YouTube webinars are there for free. Okay. So just, and again, please don't tell a lie that, okay, I saw and, did that. What you can do is that listen to a webinar, write a reflection, and then submit a screenshot. Put that webinar attendance in your Royal College CPD portfolio, or if you have got any other CPD portfolio otherwise, and give a reflection. So that is a very good way of enhancing your experience in any subspecialty where you feel that you have become deficient. Read an article, write a reflection, submit it. So you can do many ways. And I get surprised because people become very anxious. No, rotation is not a must. But if you should show your some of the experience that you have done, you have attended, there are very nice webinars for molecular also. If you don't know from different laboratories of the world, you can get free webinars. And those are from Abbott, those are from DECO, and those are from, so even in CAP Pathology, College of American Pathology, even for Royal College also, webinars are coming. So you can just have a look, the recorded webinars which are already present, or you can go to the YouTube, or you can go to the CAP website. So there are many websites where you can see, or you can go through even web pathology and the Leeds virtual pathology subspecialty cases were there. So actually, I did that. What I did was that I went through the Leeds pediatric, some of the pediatric cases, and over here in the UK, I discussed those cases that I have seen those, and these are the cases which I have seen, and we opened the virtual slides, we discussed about those, and I put it in my log, and I got the letter signed. So because in 2 weeks you might, if the teaching cases are not there, if the things are not there, so you can enhance, or you can amplify your experience by many things. Reflective notes are very important. So in pediatric pathology, read a case report, write about that, do a presentation, do a teaching presentation in your department for medical renal, for example. And because we all have done courses for Royal College Part 2, FRC Part 2. So because again, medical liver and medical renal do come in the exam. So if you have, and lymphoreticular, long cases are there. So, and soft tissue. So if you have done those courses, just take 1 or 2 cases, write the reflection, put up your experience, but make a heading, make a separate experience for those if you feel those are a bit deficient. So those are again not mandatory, like medical liver and renal. But if assessor says that you have not done, no one can deny. And then assessor's word is the last word in Caesar application. So if assessor says that you are not eligible for specialist registration, you won't be. Then not GMC, not the anyone else can do anything. So try not to miss anything. If you have got so over here, and how to present your turnaround times, PQAT data, this pathology quality assurance dashboard, it would be there for your trust. If not, then you can always ask the manager of the lab, and that if they can give you the recent turnaround times, and then you can present those also. So independent, just this is a repetition from the last thing, that independent reports are important. So at least for those surgical, cervical, and so you may not have done for medical renal and others, but that's fine. But